Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Path Peeps. And tonight I'm speaking to Andy Guy of Skytech. How are you doing?
Hey, evening. Yeah, good. Very good. Busy as ever.
Oh, well, yeah, wow. Um, I saw you on Friday. And that was so incredible. I really enjoyed that investigation. And I sort
That
of
was a
love
real
the way
treat.
you work as well. Like, I've been purchasing your kit for a while, have
You
some
have.
behind me. I've also got one which beeps far too much. And we had like an interesting session with that one, didn't we?
We did. We gave it a
So
good testing out, and it seemed to be behaving until I
yeah,
look away from it.
yeah, that's right. So I've got this, and it goes along to investigations. It's tad two. I've got two of them actually, and I've had one go red and one go green. So if sudden temperature change, it goes red for hot, blue for colder, and yeah, and it keeps going off all the time on investigations. And it's not good. And it gets to a stage where I'm thinking, well, why is it doing it? And I know, like last time, I've sort of had you on,
Mm.
we discussed it, didn't we? But you decided to test it. I caught the
We
bell
did.
then.
I,
You
I blew in
decided
it,
to test
and
it, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
reacted.
So I got it out the box, and yeah, it was fine. It wasn't doing anything. It just stayed green. It didn't do anything at all for ages, did it?
No,
Because you were looking at it.
yeah,
And then, like,
right in front of me.
afterwards, it started it again. Hi, AJ. Are you okay? So I thought I'd go through the beeping one. I do call it a different name because it
You
does.
do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I usually hear you calling it something different.
yeah. Well, it starts off with beeping, but yeah, because
Yeah,
it
then
does,
then
and
beeping.
yeah, that's right. And like the team now, because I do public events with Barry and the team, and we've all got our own tools now, haven't we? And we all call them different names.
Yeah,
So
it's a
we've got a right
fun group.
assortment.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
ding
got a
dongs and ping
ding dongs
pings.
and everything. That's right. I think we've got like most on your team have actually got. Oh, hello.
There it goes.
So I don't know why it's going off. We sort of have this conversation, don't we? And it just tends to go off
Mm.
when it feels like it.
That time
And
it was just like a din din din. So it's a very small hotspot. But when it kind of keeps going, then it's picking up lots of big changes. So
yeah.
the amount of beeps is how big the change was.
Oh, if you got one then,
Um,
I heard
no,
yours go off. I heard
no,
something go off.
that's
That's
weird.
interesting.
I didn't.
Unless it's my, oh no. Oh, I had something in the case go off. So AJ says, I think the team have every bit of kit from Andy. I mean, all of them all. Yeah, but I've got one more on order as well, AJ. So
Mm.
there you go. So I want to, yeah. So earlier on, I've got my case and I've got one switched on in there. So whether that's what's beeped from my case, that shouldn't be beeping either. So my case is just like underneath. So whether that, I've just felt a cold draft now. That's weird, but that's not set anything off. And there's no reason to because the door's shut. Hey ho. But yeah, see how it
Yeah.
goes anyway. Yeah, expense account directly to Andy. That's the thing, isn't it? But I do like it because it is a scientific measurement device. And you've got different items what do different things, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, and as in the way we were investigating on Friday, the way saw you using it, you were using it to complement your normal investigation style. You weren't using it to drive it, and you weren't focused on it. You were just using it as a side, as a way of kind of proving certain things were happening or where to direct
Yeah,
attention to. You weren't talking to it, and you weren't saying do that again, do that again. Which is the way I designed it, which was meant to be detecting when something might be present, so you can then talk with it or try to communicate with it, and not
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just talk to something beeping all evening.
Yeah, well, I've sort of got like different investigation techniques depending on who joins me. So I've been running private events for quite a while, and a lot of them, for some reason, have ended up mediumship driven. And so then when you get that, and you sort of getting the equipment go off, it is interesting. And then on
Hmm.
the public events, obviously people are more centered around the equipment. They want to see the lights going off and things like that. And then you sort of say sort of what's happening and then try and get the equipment to do the yes and the no's.
Yeah,
Because we did do a session at Matlock, didn't we, where the empath was going, I agree, I do not agree. Now I said, shall I sing on stage? And it says, I disagree or something. And it said it about 3 times as well, so I was quite hurt. But yeah, and it's
yeah.
just to make like kit like that. It is intriguing, isn't it? And obviously, you sort of know how it works. And we learn, but you're obviously the expert because the empath is kind of quite complicated in a way. But I get that. Yeah, I do get it. So that it's great the equipment complements the mediumship, and it does. And we did the Hartley method as well.
We did a few
And
sessions of it. That was good.
yeah, so I couldn't do it. I was really like, so I've seen it at 2 events already. The guests really enjoyed it. So then I was like really wanting to try it. So when I tried it, I just sat there and I just couldn't get comfortable. So I thought, right, I'll turn this round. So I turned it round, blindfold on and headphones on and stuff. So I couldn't hear what people were saying around me. And I was just there and it seemed to be slipping in my hands. And I thought, that's a bit weird. It seemed to be moving and I didn't know why. But I just didn't think anything of it and just thought, well, why is that moving? And then I thought I just gave up on it after, well, a bit. I didn't hurry up to give up on it, but I'm kind of now wondering that if I should have tapped it when it moved, because it seemed to have been one side it was kind of moving. And it's just kind of understanding, I guess, what works for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want me to give a quick synopsis of what the Hartley method is
Yes,
for anyone who's not
please
seen it?
do. Yeah,
Well,
so
I've
I've
got some
got
props.
right. I've got AJ. Just a moment. Says the night at WAF was fab with the Hartley method. Need a long list of questions ready for the next time.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah.
I always go armed with a list of questions, and if you go on my website, there's a download section, and there's like a form you can just download and use to fill up with questions, and it's gridded so you can record answers, sort of like that. So you
That
can
was
then
brilliant.
track if you ask the same question 4 times for different people, see if you get the same 4 responses. So yeah, if you pop to the website, you can get one of those.
Yeah, I do like your method. We sort of ask questions like how many fingers are we holding up, things like that. But you sort of go into a bit of the history and then just ask questions which may be a yes or no. Yeah, and that is brilliant. Yeah.
Right. So if anyone hasn't done it before, you first need to go into a sensory deprivation state, and the idea being is that whilst having no sight and hearing, and if you do have a moustache, then you might be influenced by something externally, and that might be some personality of the location. It might be the team of people around you or someone else nearby. But the point being is that you might be more susceptible to things which are an external stimulus. And then in front of you, you then hold these buttons. Now, someone gives you these buttons, so you don't know which is red and which is green. So you spin around, and you have a blindfold on, so you can't tell either. And then when you feel like it, or when you get some sort of indication, like Jackie was saying, with feeling it like it was moving a bit, you just press a button. And then the person asking the questions then uses that as some sort of answer. Now, an important bit of it is to not wait for answers when doing the questions. So you...
Well,
Yeah, it was you.
that's me.
You ask... That was you, I think, yeah.
Yay.
You ask the question and then wait a fixed period of time and then just move to the next one. Otherwise, if you wait for an answer, you're kind of biasing the results to always get an answer, and sometimes no answer could be the answer they want to give. They don't feel comfortable talking about that. They might want to move on, and therefore you should move on. But yeah, that's the basic synopsis of it.
That's cool. So, what about the results then?
Okay. Let's have a look at the results. So it's all about the results for me. So after I write it down on the spreadsheet, I go to my website and
What I'll do is
click on here.
make this larger so everyone. Not sure if you can see it. You might stand a better chance than me. So I'm just. All right. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so just going into my investigation log and the Hartley sessions. So during that night, I'll get rid of me for a second. I asked all these questions. So show me your yes, and then it allowed them to pick a red or green to be the yes. And then are we in Matlock Bath, which is where we were. So those questions we know the answer to, which was yes. And then I held up a Xena card with a square on it and said, is this a picture of a square? Which I know it is. And I went through each question, which is either the control ones, pictures of things, fingers, etc., but also mixed in with historical information, like was this building first called the Kursaal? Which, if it's a very strong hit on that one, if people answer yes all the time for it, then you could think either the people around you know that that was historically what it was called, or someone who was there previously might know that was called. So it gives you a bit of information if it was correct, what it was produced. So now looking at the results, it was a bit of a mixed bag. I do 2 columns. One's correct and it's like bang on. Someone answered yes and it was yes. And then not incorrect means it was either correct or they didn't respond, because sometimes not responding is the right answer. So things which were correct, we had about 50%. And then which was about the highest. So not there's a 75 in the interestingly in the not incorrect. 75% were no, and that question was, does the woman who's seen in the window look out to the river? Because one of the claims is there's a woman standing at a window, and we don't know the answer to that, but 75% of the sessions said no, the woman doesn't look at the river. Yet you introduced a question, which is a lady whose children died here, and we don't know the answer to that, but it was 50-50, which is a fairly strong response. 50 yes, 50 no. I also have how well each person does at the bottom here, and we had 25% right, and one person had 38% of the questions were correct, which was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because it was me who was like, if I was part of the sample, obviously I wasn't catching any button. So
No.
that is really like screwing up the results, isn't it? That is stopping you from getting the 100%.
It does. It brings it down.
Because I was just sitting there and like, I don't know. I think I'd had a hectic day of work and I was a bit stressed about the night as well. And I think it just like, I was so eager to try it. And yet I just sat there and it's like, I don't know.
So there is something you might not know because you were under at the time, but we also had someone else who also didn't press at all the entire time until right at the end. And
wow,
when you were under, and we had the other person, because we did something that I've never done before, which is 2 people under at the same time while they both get the same question. And the other person who was under at the same time as you, they were responding. And I asked the question, do you only want to speak through this person? And they responded with a yes.
Wow.
So then I continued, because I waited for a while for you to respond to yes, red or green, until I thought, okay, maybe they only want to speak through this other person. So I asked that question, they said yes. And after then, when I asked questions, there were good responses from the other person, but you weren't getting a strong response. And the same thing happened with the other person who didn't answer at all. And I asked that person's partner, do you want us to only talk through them? And that got a yes on there as well. So both times, the first 2 sessions we did, someone didn't answer, and then the other person said they only want to be spoken through that person.
And that's fascinating, isn't it?
I would never have come up to that if we hadn't done your suggestion about having a couple of people at once.
Yeah, because I was going to try and do a three-way on the stage, so get 3 people on the stage, but it's
Hartley
a shame I
method.
didn't
Okay,
do
good.
that then. Yeah,
Yeah,
three-way Hartley method, yeah. But yeah, but that would have been interesting then with your results, though, wouldn't it?
it could be.
Just to
I
see
mean, who
if
knows?
one,
You might have 2
yeah.
people who didn't get response and just 1 person did.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to do that next time.
Mm.
So, I have got sort of other events as well, and the team are sort of doing a private event. So I think we'll try it on that and sort of
So
run it through StreamYard as well, just to see how it
that's cool.
works.
Now, there's
Yeah.
one other interesting result, which was then the last 2 people sat next to each other, and both of them were responding. And by the time they finished their session, they were responding in sync with the same answers as well, which is the bit you
Right.
streamed. So maybe there's a proximity thing. Maybe if you set people too far apart, then they can't both
That's
be in at the
right.
same time.
Well, yeah. Well, they say like they can travel, but yeah, like
Mm.
to get to deal with 2 different. They were in 2 different parts of the room, but also the 2 at the end were a couple as well, weren't they?
That might be a factor as well.
They were a couple. They were sitting together. It is fascinating, and like every time somebody does it, we put up the fingers, how many, and we change that, and I've used the cards as well. And we try different things to, see how it works out. And on one of the public sessions at Newstead Abbey, there's a guy who's a medium, and he said he's asking questions in his head, and he's getting the right answers. So we didn't even get a voice, but it was being pressed, which was great as well.
That is cool.
Because the one thing which did sort of concern us, that much as though you can't hear what is being said, you can hear the voice. You can hear a slight murmur in the background.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I think it depends on the earplugs I found, and also you kind of have to ask the questions quite softly. So I just always try, because you couldn't hear me when I was asking those questions.
No.
I specifically said to you as soon as you went under, I said, actually, Jackie, do you mind taking off the earphones again? We're not going to do it now.
Oh, okay.
And
you
didn't.
No, so
I thought, okay, we're good.
All right, yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, because I try things as well. Try and get a reaction, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just to make sure that like you said, you're not going to influence it. If you can hear someone's asked a question, then you've got this. You have your influence is okay. I'm expected to press a button now. Whereas if you can't even hear the questions been asked, then it's a lot more interesting.
Yeah, but I'm definitely intrigued by it. And of the people who have tried it, some have said like it's like they get static around the hands. Some feel like they're gently getting their hands pushed, things like that. And they're like the more obvious signs that, I haven't tested. I need to like keep a pen and paper alongside to like do it correctly. I have been filming it. So, I have got a record of, I put 7 sessions on their Ghost Hunts with Barry John. They're on there, and even Barry tried it as well. So, he's tried it and he's intrigued by it. So, I have, and like everyone who's sort of doing it, like I'm asking, how did it feel? What made you push the button? And it hasn't worked with everybody. It didn't work with me. And like of the 8 people at Newstead, 5 people it worked with and 3 it didn't. And then it was surprising for me, like the first person who tried it actually worked with. Because I thought, well, this hasn't been done at this location. And straight away, and we have family members come through as well when it was being done, which is incredible. And yeah, I do like it as a method. And I did used to like the Estes method as well.
You used to like it.
But it's the hearing, isn't it? It's the pareidolia, and you're getting a lot of music a lot of time as well, and it's just people. Are they coming out with everything they hear? If something's been sung, is it a relevant word? You try change the SB7 to make it so it comes out better. And it's not always clear, is it? I've done a
No.
3-way Estes method, which is brilliant. And it was the person who had the worst hearing, which actually got the better results.
Hmm.
And
Very
it
interesting.
is all fascinating, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
just adds to the mystery, and I love it. I
There's
love
there are
trying new things.
there are some experiments you can do where you feel like, if we work on this and, like I say, just start taking some notes of it, we can actually start figuring some of these things out. What works, what doesn't, what's weird, and why is it like that? Which then might lead to
Yeah,
actually understanding the mechanics of this strange thing that we do.
yeah. It is amazing and impressive as well. Like, this has gone quiet again. Hello,
Yeah.
and why does it go off so frequently? I don't
Yeah.
know. The other one hasn't. And the
Why that one?
bells
And
have just
then,
went
and
once.
inside, same sensor, same processor, slightly different software versions.
Yeah,
But yeah, why is one
and
favored and one is not?
yeah, and yeah. On a public event, it goes off too much. I just put it away. But maybe something is trying to interact. And I do have. If I turn that a piece of equipment, another piece of equipment starts going off. You go,
Well, there you
what's
go.
going on here? And it is strange, but I want things to be correct,
Mm.
but I don't know why something's going off frequently, and it's to try and get that understanding, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but if you say that something else then starts going off a lot, it could have just been that one there is the easiest one that they can interact with.
Yeah, that's right.
Most familiar with it.
Because I get the air pressure one. That's the next one which like gets hit. And
All
then
right.
if that's
Yeah.
not there, it's the Magnafex, is it?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
starts as well. So that doesn't go off very often on
No.
an event. Well, at any time. But then if I find that those two aren't on, that will go off. So yeah,
They'll get through somehow.
yeah, and it is intriguing, and I do love it, and yeah, I just keep trying to get answers.
Yeah.
And so
A little
let's
step at
go
a
back
time.
to the beginning then. So where did it start with you?
So okay, so mine's a bit of a unusual one because mine started with checking out books in the school library about the paranormal across the board. So not only ghosts, but cryptids. Though I don't think it was called cryptids at the time. So like monsters
Yeah,
and UFOs and all kind of mysteries. Because that's the thing that always got me. There's a mystery behind it, that all these things were happening and people were witnessing them, but they were kind of, I don't know, ridiculed in these books, and I couldn't understand why. Why is this thing which people were saying not real, and things that other people see are real? So I read up on it for years and years and years, and then I didn't actually go to any investigations until my girlfriend bought me a ticket to go to Woodchester Mansion in
wow,
2011.
nice.
And we've been watching lots of American ghost hunting shows. So before I went to Woodchester Mansion, I bought a Mel meter and a night vision camera and an audio recorder and a case, because I thought, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, because I'd never
Good.
seen anything. So I thought, I'm going to try and witness it in some way. And I was lucky, because on that first night I had something really impressive happening. I was wandering around with a really potato night vision camera that had a earphone output. So I was just sort of doing live EVP
Oh,
as I was walking around.
brilliant.
And I walked out near the front door, and there's some kind of little rooms off to the side of the corridor that were just kind of like little storage rooms. And as I was going past, I thought, there are people over this building. It seems quiet over there. I might go towards that. And I just got this feeling that someone was in there just watching me. And you can see the footage to this day. I say, who are you? Why are you watching me? And then through the earphones, I heard, oh, and you can hear it on the recording. It's on my
Wow,
list of
brilliant.
things. I thought, whoa, what? I just heard that. That's crazy. And then years later, I found there was an Arthur at Woodchester Mansion. It was the son of the guy who built the place, but he died it was like an infant death. And the voice itself didn't sound like a kid. It sounded like an older guy, maybe lamenting the kid. But from that point on, I thought, there's something to this, and I kind of want to get into it a lot more. So found a group that was willing to kind of let me wander around places and
That's
explore and then
brilliant.
try out different things, and bought a load of stuff like quite a few people do. Just filled a cupboard full of things I bought,
Oh gosh, yeah.
and like a lot of people start questioning what they're doing and if they're working, and when they beep, why are they beeping?
Yeah,
And because of that, I started making my own stuff, because then I'd know exactly what it was doing and when it went off, what that really meant. And
yeah,
over time, I would then make a few things for some friends, and then the pandemic hit, and then people were streaming lots and going into abandoned buildings to stream, and contacted me and said, I went on that investigation with you. That thing you had, great. Can you make me one? Because I'm doing this urban
wow.
exploring. So I started making them for people, and then that's kind of why I transitioned to kind of making stuff for people as well as investigating things myself.
It's blown up, hasn't it? Like a lot of
Yeah,
big teams in the UK have your kit.
that's true.
They really do.
It's all over the shop. Sometimes I go to investigations, and everyone
Yeah.
has got has got my stuff, so I don't have to unpack my case at all. It's quite handy.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot. Like I've got 2 tabs and I've got one of most I think there's only one thing I haven't got and that's the EMF pump. But yeah, and it's just yeah, I just love it. And it gets my mind going as well because I'm very analytically minded.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
I want to know why it's going off and, what's causing it. And with this, I don't think it's down to temperature. I'm pretty sure it isn't. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they have a way of interacting with it that wasn't designed to be used that way.
Yeah,
But,
well, there is some
and that's
other
the
ways
thing.
you can manipulate that sensor to make it go off, because
Yeah,
it's measuring resistance. Now, as temperature changes, the sensor then changes resistance. But if you had anything else in there, almost like when people say they're drawing energy from something, if you had something
yeah,
which was then drawing from that, it increases the resistance, and then it maybe think that the temperature changed, even though it actually hadn't. So it is possible.
yeah, yeah. It's just,
Sorry for
yeah.
waffling there.
No,
But
no, it's
I
intriguing.
thought
It's
when you said that, I thought, "Oh, that's interesting." That you
No,
you might not be
I like the science behind it because you can't. I am intrigued how things work
Mm,
because because if it because it isn't always hot and cold. You can
yeah,
have one red and one blue. I've had it. They've been
yeah,
next
but
door to each other. So
that all makes sense though, because if you transfer heat, then if you get a hot spot that's moving, then if the hot spot moves away, then cold air rushes to where the hot spot was. So what
oh,
you're seeing
okay.
is the movement of something, or a cold spot is moved, and then the hot air, or the ambient air then rushes into where the cold spot was.
Wow, that is interesting. Yeah, because well, one was flashing red and one was flashing blue, and I
Mm.
think they came out about the same time. It's just a
Oh,
bit odd.
that's seems what it is. You had
Yeah.
something that was hot or cold, and then it moved.
Yeah, that was brilliant. So Amanda says, "How did you get new ideas for a new piece of kit?"
Having conversations with people, or witnessing things and thinking, okay, that's an interesting variable. I need to make something to try and track that. So all the things I make is never, okay, I'm now going to make this. It's always based on something I've found in data, or a technique that people are using or I've been using, and then I can make something that makes it easier, or better, or more reliable, or removes variables which you could then disprove it, like you said with spirit boxes.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 years worth of equipment lined up already, and people keep
Oh
giving me
my
new things
gosh.
to do. So it's there's no end of ideas, because there's no end of problems to solve and mysteries to unravel.
That's right. Like AJ says, I bet your mind never stops working, and
No,
I bet,
we have
yeah,
okay. Honest hands on heart. Our conversation then about the fact that it might not be that sensor. Back in my head was thinking, right, how do we then find out if it's actually a resistance change? Do we need to do something which is then detecting
mm,
resistance changes without temperature changes? So yeah, that's so you're right.
yeah. it's fascinating. Like my mind goes to the nth degree as well, and that's
Mm,
why I sort of moved over to sort of a systems role, because I like solving things, and then you sort of ask like multitude of questions, don't you? And especially if there's systems implementation, then you sort of like to break things because
yeah,
that's what
go
the
down that rabbit
intention
hole.
is, so it doesn't. Yeah, and you just kind of you sometimes need to think outside the box, don't you, to
Yeah,
do
break it
something
down.
new. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I just love it all. I really do. And yeah, you've seen how much of your kit I've got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was, I saw quite a heap of it. It was
Yeah.
all
My
over the
book.
place on that occasion. Everyone had something.
Yeah, that's right. And
Although I ended up going home with more stuff than I brought because a number of people wanted to put their names on their kit or
oh
other words
yeah, you did,
on
didn't
their.
you?
Yeah, I got home
Yeah.
and every bag that I brought was full of other people's stuff. I've been picking through like, okay, whose was this?
Hi, Ruthie. So Ruth is the
Hey,
lady who did the couple investigation at the end with the great results where, you're just tapping on the same time. I didn't actually upload that. I need to put it through StreamYard because if I uploaded it onto Facebook, it would do it as like 197 episodes or
oh,
something silly. So instead of doing a 10-minute footage, I don't know what it does. It just does it madly. So, yeah.
that was really. I'm sure Ruth would love to see that because that was pretty cool. And that's the
Yeah,
problem
it
when
was.
you're it's
Yeah.
like the Estes
And
thing, where, then someone says that was really interesting, and you're like, was it? I've just said a bunch of random words.
yeah, I do like the Estes, and it was my kind of favourite. But I'm just so intrigued by this method. I really am.
Hmm.
And
There's variables.
and also people's reactions and what's making them do it and why, and and I keep asking all these questions every time somebody uses it. You'll hear me sort of saying why, what happened, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. But yeah, so the thing is, you do make things with people, teams' names on. Hi, Ian.
I do.
Welcome. Hi, Ian. Welcome.
Hi, Ian's.
And yeah, you do. Yeah, Ian's have
I've
just
just got
joined
this.
us.
I've just got this super swanky color printer, so I can do multiple colors on things now. So I can
Oh,
put people's team logos under the right sort of colors and things. It looks really nice.
oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, because all
On
mine are like plain ones.
yeah,
Oh,
you need a refresh on it.
I know.
One thing I wanted
Um,
to mention as well, which was nice, we got to witness it when we were doing the Hartley session, was that a lot of people respond, and after you ask them what made them press the button, they'll go, okay, I've got a tingle here or a pressure there, or this side
yeah,
was cold and this side was hot. But then quite often you hear, I didn't like it when you were walking behind me, or I felt like you were
yeah,
walking around me and I wasn't expecting you to do that. And it was like, no, everyone was sitting still, and we got to see some of the, because we put environmental sensors around the tables and the chairs where we were doing it.
that's
We
it.
saw those going off behind or in front of the people doing it as well, yet not
Yeah, that was
the other bits in the
interesting.
room. Yeah, and that,
Yeah,
where did that come from? That's
and
interesting.
it was always in one area as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's just like one spot really, in the whole room. And yeah, it's just fascinating. So didn't Kirsty say she felt someone behind her at WAF? And yeah, she
There you go.
did.
I've heard
Yeah,
it so many times now. I mean,
yeah.
I spoke to Rhiannon Hartley, who devised the method,
This
and
is
as
yeah,
part of,
Rianne's
yeah, as part of the
brilliant.
experiment. And she said that there could be an element of that, which is you're in sensory deprivation, your mind's working overtime. You could have that influence of feeling like there's someone near you, but
Yeah,
that won't set off an air pressure sensor or a magnetic field sensor.
that's true. Yeah, that's right. I can't wait to sort of hopefully investigate with Rianne. Obviously, they've got their Spook and Spirit Fest, haven't they? And I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to going there.
you're
So
speaking there, aren't you?
I am, yeah. And
Cool.
the speech has gone to pot. But yeah, the intention and everything, it's just gone a bit astray. So hopefully everything will be resolved.
I'm sure it'll come together.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mystery, really, but we're working on it. Yeah. What can we say?
Grown arms and legs, has it? You're not entirely sure which direction it's going.
Yeah, it's kind of totally changed direction, but I don't know what the answer is. But we'll do it. We'll be there.
It's a journey.
I've also got something on in Nottingham, Paranormal Penny Pinchers. That's on July the 11th. So I'm actually holding a court session. So I'm looking forward to that, a full interactive one. So, I've got ideas on that. You've got but it's just me and and it's just how to organize it and get people to take part in it and stuff. So I'm working on it. I've got the case I want to cover, and we'll see how it goes. And interesting, 20 minutes to just try and get everybody involved, and it's just going to be fascinating.
I was in one of those sorts of experiments in Shire Hall in Dorchester, where we had someone being the judge and then someone also then role playing a defendant, and then everyone else was in the jury seats. And the amount of different reaction we got from it, because we focused on kind of, again, a local real event.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
It was intense. There was things going on all over the place. Lots of sensory things, audio things. It was an interesting experiment. I do love a recreation.
Yes, and the thing is, the judge doesn't like me. Now, I believe that I worked for him in a past life. And I've sat in his chair before, and medium Gary Fields picked up remotely that I've been in the chair and messaged he's cheesed off now, because he'd picked up that he was angry at me for some reason, and I've had a lot of interaction. So me sitting in that chair with a wig and a gown, which I've got now, is going to sort of create something already.
You personally own a Jugs' wig and gown?
No, I'm in a theatre group.
Oh, I see. It's a loan.
And I was going to buy it, but I'm in a theatre group, and I've done fancy dress the last 3 weekends, to be fair. So we're always borrowing something. I've got some police hats as well. So we're all good. We've got some costumes sorted for the event, so we're looking forward to it. But you've got to wear the judge in the gown, and not a woman sitting in a man's seat as well. You've got that, so that's not from the 1800s when the case was. So I'm really.
You do get that, don't you? You do get that reaction sometimes.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they wouldn't speak to people like me either. Why would they speak to a commoner?
Oh,
you get that as well. You've got the different sort of class system. Judges wouldn't interact with us. They wouldn't want, you see, raise my energy and boom, here it goes. Thank you. Yeah. and it does, isn't it? It's me who sets it off, and I know it is.
Yeah. I don't think we should change that. It's too good.
It's odd, isn't it? But so it should be a good one. Yeah. I've done it in a few investigations where I've sat in the chair and just gone for it just to see what happens. But this time, I have found a case. I've got someone from the drama group coming. She's going to play the person who's committed the crime, and then we'll sort of yes, it's the beeping. Yes. The one which was checked. Oh, and Andy knows all about him. Yes. Yeah, and Andy's heard, because I've mentioned this judge a few times. So I'm really looking. I always kind of think it's my dad with that, but it might be him. Ooh, yeah. So there's a judge who tends to have issues with me, but I've not encountered him for a while, so we'll see. But when I sit in his chair again, he's going to enjoy it. Yeah. So do you meet any characters when you go out investigating? Sort of who regularly come through to you?
Yes. Well, at certain locations. There's this one nearby, which is a bit of a private one, because it's a sensitive building now.
Okay.
But it used to be a military asylum. And
Ooh.
whenever we go there, there's this one room, and there's this personality there that has this routine almost. You hear these footsteps, and it sounds like they're coming from upstairs. But I've had a geophone and audio recorder in the rooms upstairs, and the sound and the vibration that's not there. So well, you just basically you hear the sound of the footsteps from below, from up, and then
Wow.
you start getting different interactions, but they're kind of almost comedic or mocking. And if you push too hard, it disappears. And it sometimes tries to communicate about some strict woman in the building. And if you talk too much about that, he'll disappear, and then you'll get this personality change. So there's some sort of drama to go on there, which you've got to be careful with. You've got to kind of keep it light. And he doesn't like certain things, and he mocks them, like boards and rods. He's not keen on that. He's just keen on just interacting with people directly, it seems.
Wow.
It's
I love
yeah,
that.
and we've been there like 30 times, and it's really consistent. Sometimes it's stronger than other times, but otherwise, if you interact in the right way, you kind of get a response, and it's lovely, really. The fact that you can actually sort of build up a relationship. I walk in
Yeah,
there and
I
go, "Hi
get
there,
that.
it's been a few months, what's been happening?"
Yeah, I do love that. Like, there's a gentleman on the stage at the pavilion who usually comes through, but I didn't want to give anything away to, like, most people who came the other night hadn't been there before or hadn't investigated on a private with me where they've come through.
Mm.
So, I was kind of intrigued, like, if he'd come through. And, like, obviously, Tanya used to sort of help host at the building. So she knew a lot of spirits as well. And we're kind of trying to work out if the regular ones would come forwards, but we wanted other people to mention them
Yes,
because then
exactly.
it
Yeah,
gives us
perfect.
validation. And that's what I like. I like other people to tell me stuff I already know because then it just adds to it. And
Yeah,
it just fascinates me. I'm not going to go in and go, oh, here's blah, 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 blah. Well, then later on, oh, here's thingy. Well, yeah, we told you earlier.
you've seeded it. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's right. So, I just want people to see what they get, mention the names, and then let's see if we can tie up to what we got.
Yeah,
And there's a young lad who came through from the mines at Matlock, and I picked up on him last time, or someone similar, and I got a lot more information than what came through this time. I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but I didn't want to push anybody to, I didn't want to push it too far, and
yeah,
then people kind of be pushed into coming out with that story. I want somebody to tell me the story that I got before, and
yeah,
it's just so intriguing. And like I picked up on a woman quite early, and at initially it wasn't accepted, but later on it came through that yeah, indeed it was her, and I don't know how. Yeah, it's just strange, isn't it?
yeah.
How it all works.
You're doing it by memory, but I'm terrible at that. So I always write everything down, and for years now, all this stuff you saw, the data logging and
Yeah,
tagging things.
that's brilliant.
Alongside that, if any names come through, or dates or events, something which is kind of something specific, something that you could then, if you heard that again, you'd know that's the same thing as that.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
also gets logged onto the site. It's just like a interesting information. And then over time, when you go back and back and back, there's this one place you might have heard it. It's Fort. It's one of the forts that are north of Portsmouth. So Fort Widley.
Right. Yeah, I'd
Um,
love to go there. Yeah.
there's a name there which has been cropping up for a decade across dozens of people and groups, and it's just the same name in the same place through lots of different methods. Some people just say it
Yeah.
just comes to their mind. Sometimes a board or rods or by empath. It just the same name keeps coming through. I'm not going to say it because
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin
No,
it.
I
But
don't want to know. Yeah.
no, but
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
that is pretty cool as well, because
That's fantastic.
if I hadn't been write it down, you'd kind of forget it. If you don't go back there 6 months or a year, then next time you go back, you completely forget that happened.
Yeah,
So
I'm the same.
you've got better
Like,
memory than I have.
no, I can still see her now. because I can see the image,
Mm.
and that's how I remember. And why can I still see that image?
That's only an advantage.
Yeah, but I can't remember things. I'm shocking with names.
But good with
Here's a
faces.
name from Auckland. How you doing, mate?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Hope you well, Mark. We've got Rianne as well. Hello.
Marianne?
Just been talking about the heart
Yeah.
method.
Your ears must be burning.
Obviously, it's going to happen, isn't it? But we love it. And Tracy, Lyndon, hiya. So everyone should try Andy's tech. We've had the most amazing evidence from the empath with historical research backup for validation. That's it, isn't it? It's like not only getting it, it's then getting the validation through history. And, I love it. I really do.
Tracy was sharing some of the stuff that she got with me, and it was, I've not seen anything like it. It's I'm not sure if she's posted it or anything, but she got a first name and a surname, at least once actually, that was historically linked to the place, which
I love it.
Yeah, she puts a lot of work into kind of researching before and after the facts with the things that she comes up with. Best ears in the business as well. Just want to throw that out there. If you have a difficult EVP, chuck it Tracy's way. Sorry, Tracy.
I can't get EVP. Well, maybe I don't listen. But yeah, EVP isn't my thing. BP ones are. I can get that to go off. That's fine, Hello. Not this time. But but that'll go off. But things, EVPs, no. I've had a few, but not that often.
I don't get many because of the way I do reviewing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't listen to all the footage because you've seen how many recorders I put out, and
oh my gosh, yeah, definitely
can't possibly listen back to 30 recorders. Each has got 6 hours of footage. I would never investigate again. So I only ever check back to when we've tagged it. So I get a lot more DVPs, which people would have heard at the time. I can then back that up. The amount of things I must have recorded, but I just don't know.
Yeah, that's it. And your recorders, like, wow, you sort of really do set everything up, don't you? It's fantastic, and then trying to find things in the building at the end.
Luckily I make a good list of where I put things. And sometimes I draw a map.
Yeah, because some of the locations, they are complicated to walk around.
They are. Well, that pavilion was quite complicated around the backstage.
It's a stage because you go upstairs to downstairs to get up to the stage, and it's like it confuses me now because logically, like, you see the stage is there. So I think the first thing you do is go down to go up. And
it's a high stage. It's a high stage as well, so it's almost like half a floor above where the audience stands.
Yeah, and then like the rooms backstage are directly under the stage as well.
Yeah. And I don't remember turning back on myself. It is a bit of a maze back there.
Yeah, that's right. Because if you don't go through a certain door, you can go a door which will take you to the stage, or if you just carry on, you've got the dressing rooms to then go round.
And you keep going round.
You either take the steps or you go down again to the auditorium. So Can you imagine if you're acting on that stage and you take the wrong route?
Like Final Tap.
Imagine who's been in those dressing rooms, Imagine all the stars who... Yeah. Where the hell did Eric Clapton come out?
When I'm kind of at the questions, I look at the history, but then kind of also look at the
website. You got that, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a list of famous people who've been there, and I thought that one's good. That one probably people don't mention much if they're going there and
well, no, I wouldn't. Derek Akora's been on stage there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the last year. So it's 2019.
Oh.
So it's quite ill.
I thought you said that was last year. And I thought,
no, his last year. Yeah.
His last year.
2019. Okay, yeah. So a friend actually went and she said, "Oh no, he wasn't good," but everything he told her came right. Like, she got a dog, and she's never the person to get a dog, and she ended up with a dog. So she says, "Well, it wasn't, but I said, well, that's happened, hasn't it? Yeah, and that's up. Oh yeah, and it's like, yeah, it was a good reading, and yeah, she kind of played it down, I think, but yeah, everything came true. Oh, so yeah, Tanya mentioned about Eric Clapton, and yeah, it's just not something you expect, is it? But as it sort of gets more done up, like I've been going now for about 10 years, and I've seen it progress, and they're so excited because they've got curtains now.
Oh yeah, so I saw your post which said that they've done a lot of work there since you started.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like you should have seen it at the beginning, 10 years ago, and they put in new floors and everything, and yeah, painted up the rooms, like the end rooms, they've painted those up now. They've got heating, and they do things, and like then they've got like rental space to like dance groups and things like that. And originally it was purchased off the council for £1
Really?
by
Wow.
people from Matlock Bath. And they've kind of got this like committee going, and they're just working on restoring it. They've got the cafe
lovely.
now as well. So, if you ever go to Matlock Pavilion, have a cake, it supports them. And I don't take it. Yeah, and I don't tend, I did put coffee and tea out, but I don't think anybody noticed because everybody wanted tea and coffee from there and a cake. On my investigations, I think we just had the one break, maybe a quick one later, but it wasn't. We just want to get out investigating.
Yeah,
so
we didn't hang around. That was nice.
Gosh, no. You just want to be up there, don't you? And
why you've gone there, isn't it?
Yeah, and also we didn't get to all the areas. Like we only got to like the stage, the auditorium, and the side room. Well, there's a dome, and also there's a backstage area.
Yeah.
So you're there from 8 till 1, and yeah, we didn't cover everything.
I went downstairs for a little bit while you were on the stage, actually, on that last.
Oh, I wondered where you'd gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I was down there with another one of the guys. Fascinating guy. He was very into the tech side of things as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Cool. But yeah, we had this weird noise when we were down there. There's this sort of loud, sudden metallic noise that sounded like a hospital bed suddenly getting pushed hard.
Wow.
And then we're like, okay, we're kind of near underneath the stage. So we went up and checked, and everyone was just sitting around. And then both of us took turns stomping around on the stage, and the person listened. No idea where that came from. It was super.
Yeah, I heard somebody mention that.
Yeah, there was, and then someone on the stage then came down and said, we had this noise about something like a glass moving on a table.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear anything at all like that. There's some very odd stuff at the end there.
Yeah. But, I've had some crazy things happen there and absolutely love it. So what are your plans then? You've got a few, you've got the Parameet, haven't you? Which looking forward to again. That's the nearest one.
I've got one before that, would you believe?
Oh, have you? Oh, is that Norfolk?
Yeah, Apex Norfolk.
Oh, nice one.
Doing a talk there and taking along maybe some new bits. Maybe some new bits. I took a couple of EMF sniffers along with me on Friday. We didn't get much of a chance to use them, and we basically can put earphones on and using this EMF mic.
Oh, you've let me down. We didn't get to play with them, but it was an incredible night. So
basically, you can just plug this into a dictaphone, and if you put earphones in that dictaphone yourself, you can hear EMF. So you can then, if you're trying to debunk something or trying to make sure that if you're going to put something down, there's nothing under the floor or in the air.
Wow,
you can literally go and you can hear where stuff is coming from. But also, interestingly, if you put it somewhere quiet and record, you could get stuff through there, which has led to my thoughts about EVPs, which is it's actually an EMF wave which is directly hitting the recorder and recording, and it's got nothing to do with the microphone at all, which is why you don't hear the recording when the voice is just coming through the recorder. Wow, so you can use these to experiment doing that as well. So I'll probably take this along to Apex, but then there's a Parameet, and I'll be taking along your new device.
My new thing.
Yeah, which
Yes.
is the Polysonics, which is
I've ordered a new toy. I don't know what it is. It makes noise.
and it's going to be purple. That's what we know.
It's going to be purple and it makes noise.
Yeah. So it's it's a device which has different playlists, which are categorized into historical periods and also military stuff and also religiousy stuff. And depending on, that's the default, as the sensors are triggered, that particular trigger, if it's a temperature or magnetic north, will pick a playlist and start playing something from that playlist and then stop. So for years I've been doing that, doing a Singapore experiment. I'll start playing a piece of music, and after a while stop and see if there's a reaction to that. Like, I want to hear more of that, keep going. So this what this device does. If it gets a hit again, it'll keep going. Otherwise, it will move to the next song if there's a big gap.
That's fascinating. That's the thing I always do. Play Vera Lynn when I'm on stage at Matlock.
It's very
it always feels right, and I can always imagine, the GI and the bride sort of meeting, like when the war's over, and sort of dancing there to celebrate. And it's always a vision I've had in my head. And they would have gone there, and you can just imagine the atmosphere and the energy in that place at that time,
and the hope that music probably brought at that time.
Definitely, that's right. And I always play that on stage, but they obviously didn't want me to sing it because I kept saying, and it's going no.
Well, now you'll be able to stick it on your Polysonics and then see if they want to play it, or they want to play a different wartime song.
Yeah, that's right. Because I put it on my YouTube, then you get the advert. So you've got to wait a few seconds before you can actually get what you want through, because I put the damn advert on. But it's fascinating. I do love, like, any way which will sort of encourage interaction. And you just try as many different ways as you can just to see if you can get something through.
Yeah, and anything which kind of feels like you're sharing your time with them. You're not just asking
that's right
things from them. You're giving a bit of you and in those interactions as well, that you're trying to be social and friendly with someone who
oh gosh definitely because you imagine them like some places every Friday, Saturday, more often than that, get the same questions time in, time out, and like they're just there thinking, oh no, here we go. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Playing Winston Churchill's war speeches at Drakeley.
Great idea.
Wow. I love Drakeley. Did you ever get there?
Yeah. Actually, we were talking about that a few days ago, Drakeley.
That's true.
And the hairy tunnels.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So I mentioned the toilet paper. Yeah.
And the wet toilet paper. Yeah.
Yeah, of course we did.
The hairy tunnels and the wet toilet paper.
See, that's what I don't remember.
That's why I shut it down.
That's what I don't remember, but I remember the image of this woman. It's in my head now, and yet the conversation I just kind of forget. But But it's certainly had some fascinating things happen. So where else in the UK would you like to go?
To investigate?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, talked about Lep Castle for years. We've never managed to land that yet. It seems to always slip out our fingers. And that one's got lots of that's got a banshee. You wouldn't want to try and investigate banshee.
Intriguing.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't. If you hear it, if you catch it, hang on, say if you left an audio recorder out and caught the sound of a banshee and heard it later, would that mean that you're dying? You're going to die from that? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Or it could be Vat Fielding hiding somewhere and screaming. You just need to know the difference.
That probably wouldn't kill you.
No, oh God,
thankfully.
No. I don't know. Not heard it in person, thankfully. Never will. What can I say? But it does look a beautiful place. All the history and everything. Is there anywhere in the You fancy? Hey?
Oh, yeah, the US. I've got a friend in Washington State, Bree Schrader, and she's got this really good access to St. Ignatius Hospital, as in like she kind of helps take care of the place. She goes out and keeps it
Nice.
swept up. It's a completely abandoned place, but the stuff that she's got from there. She showed me this video, and she walks around this corner, and there's this guy in a doctor's coat just walks from the corridor into the room, and then she follows him around, and there's just no one. It's an amazing place. I'd love to go there, mostly because it'd be nice to see Brie, but also it's you'd be able to have the building to yourself, and there's been so many things happening there. I don't know, it'd be like Paranormal Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It is nice to sort of get in a building, and it's hard to get these buildings on your own, isn't it? Really, or
yeah,
with
especially
small groups and
away from towns. So you haven't got like a pub or a club just down the road from it.
Yeah, that's one thing about the PAV. I was silly, like
I wasn't going to say that.
It's the second consecutive bank holiday Friday I booked it on. Okay, May time. So yeah, and it's not a good time.
Yeah, we know that now.
Yeah, and I should have known when I booked it. And it's quite unfortunate that it's like the hottest every year to that point. So everyone's going to be out and about. Like, I think the first time I booked it on that bank holiday, it was great. It was raining.
Yeah.
So people weren't going to this inland seaside resort because that's what it's like. It's like going to the coast, you've got the amusement arcades, you've got a chip shop, and instead of the sea, you've got a river. And like all the bikers go there, all the cars go there with the noisy exhausts, both of them. And oh God, it was entertaining, wasn't it? And then the pub across the road started as well.
Oh, yeah.
They've got all the
light band or something.
They've got all the windows open, obviously, because it was hot. So yeah, like I usually go in the winter and it's freezing cold. And I thought, oh yeah, this will be all right. It won't be cold.
That's why I went with my thermals on. That as a little
I did
the
say
entire night I had thermals on. That's why I was red hot most of the night.
I did say it's always cold there, but we just had a freak weather.
So I thermaled up. It was nice on the way home though. Kept me warm.
Oh gosh, I bet. But yeah. Yeah, it's like I thought, oh, it's going to be cold. Wrap up. Then I thought, well, actually, it's this, and in my house, it's kind of toasty, so I'm going to wear my shorts. And I was like, put in the chat, like, yeah, actually, I'm going to wear my shorts.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, maybe this will do it. And like, yeah.
Yeah, with thermal leggings and thermal socks on.
Ouch. Oops. But yeah, it's just so great to investigate with you finally. And, with using the kit, it's nice to, we'll have to sort of do a sort of mini investigation at the Parameet. See if we can get anything. See if behaves or not. No doubt it will with you, because like, why has it gone off this many times? It's just like quite merry, isn't it? The heater's not on, by the way. There's no reason for it.
No.
I haven't got the heating on at all for some reason.
No, and you got the other tad down, that would be going off as well.
Yeah, the other tad's there, and they've got the bell that's been off once. So, I don't know, and you've tested it out, and we really don't know why it's so,
BP.
But yeah, do you think it could be anything paranormal, or if it's just like beeping?
Well, it's a variable thing again. So if it was, if it didn't react when you were triggering it manually, then it's definitely not working. But it does. So the device is detecting something has changed with that sensor, and there's only two things that change it, and that's the resistance going to the processor and the thermistor itself. The thermistors aren't randomly switching off and on. They're expanding or compressing depending on the temperature. So it's a mechanical thing. So something it's detecting something is changing.
Weird. It's just it just intrigues me. It really does.
I mean, my reaction normally would be, if in doubt, switch it out. But this seems like an old friend. I'm not sure.
We've got quite attached to it, to be fair. It's I think it's the first piece of kit that I bought from you. as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely an older model.
yeah. It's the first piece of kit I bought from you. I bought that with the air pressure one.
Yeah,
So I bought them together. So
an early
yeah, I've had
parent
them a few
probably.
years. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I'm kind of attached to them.
Yeah,
I'm
we
attached to a
changed them.
K2, which I've lost. I don't know
Oh,
where it is. I might have it. I don't know.
not
That
so
was bought
attached
as
to
a
it now.
present. Hey?
You're not so attached to it now.
Well, I don't know where it is. Well, no, I don't use K2s anymore. Well, they are used on public events, but I don't use it as part of my kit,
Mm.
which is probably why I can't find it because it's ended up with the other things that I don't use anymore, which I spent hundreds of pounds on.
Yeah, I've got a
Because
couple
you
of
do.
buckets of shame as well, hiding in the back of a cupboard.
Yeah, I know. It's just mad, isn't it? I've got
Yeah,
some string lights there. They're a big purchase.
oh, like
And
the tripwire.
yeah, the ones like cat balls in them,
Okay,
rather than the
EMF
better
sensor.
ones, which I want. Yeah, the MF ones I actually want. So I thought, right, I'll get those, and yeah, they've worked and they've come in handy. But the most I ever got off is 3, and then it's like, well, why? Why are those 3 going off?
Yeah,
And
and EMF
you
does
just.
set off a cat ball, so it could still be a localized burst of EMF setting that off, not even a
Yeah.
vibration.
Mm. But I think something interacts with the cat balls as well, with the internal workings rather than it move.
Yeah, so
Sometimes that's what I've kind of found because I've never
no, you're right. You're exactly right. It's
never
and the way
seen it move
if you're
in any
interested,
way.
in it, so basically the tilt sensor is like a little ball, and it
Yeah,
sits inside of a pillow of metal
yeah.
that it's slightly taller than the ball, but curves down the edges. So if the ball moves, it makes contact between the top and the bottom, and then triggers a voltage that goes through it to the processor
Mhm.
to say it's triggered. But if the processor gets a voltage that's nothing to do with the ball, then it will also trigger. And I've done that with the resonate. If you put that near a cat ball, it will set it off because you're directly giving the voltage to that sensor, that
All
processor.
right.
So
Okay.
it
That's
does. It picks
interesting.
up on local EMF as well.
Mm, that's cool. Because I've broken them and I've seen the internal workings, but I'm not scientifically minded.
I've
So
stood on a few myself as well,
yeah,
crunching in
stood
the
on
dark.
them. Yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they? You walk in
Yeah,
a room
people in the
like
middle of doorways. I know where
you're
people in the
doing a
middle of doorways.
vigil, so you put them, and then like for some reason you've just gone to sort a piece of kit out in another room, and you come back and like smack in the middle of a doorway.
Or boot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I boot them across the room as well.
Oh God, I've done that. Yeah, yeah. Better those little balls at Draco though,
Yeah.
because the ones which glowed in the dark,
Hmm.
and everyone goes, "Oh, they're moving." Well, no, they're not. Your eyes are playing tricks on you.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were funny, weren't they? The airsoft pellets. So,
Yeah.
has anybody got any questions for Andy about kit or science behind it? Really, it is intriguing how you've sort of taken a different approach than some of the sort of manufacturers. Really, well,
It's because mine's all
developers.
based on, actually investigating and research. I'm not making things to sell things. I'm making things that I use, and then if other people might find them useful, that's when I put them out there.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
don't
it's
make
great.
lots and lots and lots of different things, because I'm spending years trying them myself and go, yep, that's useful. There's definitely a thing. Let's see what other people make of it.
I don't want you to make anything else.
Because you're running out of space in your box.
Well, yeah. Well, I will, because not everything fits in my box anyway.
No.
Because I bought the
I can start.
predecessors to the EnviroBell.
All
Because I've got
right.
one of those, yeah, because you had about 2 at a Parameet, didn't you? And I
The
purchased one.
Tasma lights.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
brought
How many
that
people have
with
got
me
them?
the other day. I know. I've got a limited edition.
Yeah, it's true. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I still do some of those ones. Or you got the big one,
It's a big one. Yeah.
Tasma. Yeah, even less people have got that one.
Yeah.
It's
It
because it's
wasn't
a bit
like the
chunky.
ones yeah. It doesn't always come with me everywhere for
No,
obvious reasons.
I like to make things I can put into my cargo pants pocket. And if it's a
Yeah.
bit too big for that, I'm going, I'm not going to bring it this time because I can't squeeze it into my pocket.
It's like the empath as well. You know, you're great. Like you will sort of help people with the equipment as well. So
Mm.
like I've been to the Parameet and I wanted to just check that out and yeah, it was fine. And obviously I've met you again and that wasn't connecting that well. So you sorted that out for me. And you do sort of look after people after the purchase things. And then obviously people are going, oh no, we don't want a black base on that. We want something else. So, you're sort of looking after them as well.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's incredible what you do.
I do have a sort of ulterior motive with that sort of behavior, and that's because the reason I make things for other people is because I want to hear back from them what worked for them, what didn't, what works with something else, so I can then help develop what I'm doing as well. So my
Yeah,
goal is to always get people to take my stuff along, use it, and if for some reason they can't use it, I want to hear about it so I can help them use it again, so we can find
that's
out
brilliant. Yeah,
what they're getting. I'm kind of basically doing the scientific method where if you discover something, you then peer review it. So I'm counting these people who are using my equipment as peer reviewing it and then come back with new information. And I use it all the time when people come back and say,
that's
that's
brilliant.
quite interesting. That's going off on that. And I go, okay, that's okay. We need something that's both those things then together so we can then check them out.
Yeah,
So that's why
yeah,
I do that sort of thing, because
but
I
it's
help
nice.
them and
Yeah.
that's helping me as well.
It's like you helped me with the empath because I had a big one and you sort of said, oh, I'll have that. And you gave me a
Yeah.
little one. And, it's stuff like that, isn't it? And
You've got
it's so
limited
much
space.
easier. Gosh, yeah, I have now. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, no, the tap doesn't fit in the
No.
case.
I should start
That,
selling bigger boxes. That's what I should.
yeah,
That's what
because
we need.
that's got to live in its box. So
I'm
that's the Hartley method. So that lives in a box with the headphones and the earplugs, which I ran out of straight away. So I used the whole batch in one go, and the
yeah.
eye
You have to
mask
go.
as well.
Yeah, I've got
But
to buy
yeah,
lots because whenever I go to do a session, you go through them quite quickly.
yeah,
I'm
you
actually
do.
I'm not told anyone really this yet, but I am actually starting to technically sell some cases. I'm working on a starter kit, which might make the Parameet, and
Oh,
that's
that's
basically
nice.
a small box. So, and everything you basically need to start doing a scientifically based investigation. So,
That's beautiful.
some of the area recorders that I use, plus the ability to kind of wear it as a watch thing as well, and a Tasma light and torch and a pen and a investigation logbook. So it's kind of formatted so you can what happens, and getting started guide, all in the same sort of set.
I
So if
love
someone wants
that.
to start kind of doing a controlled like I do with sort of approach to kind of recording things and then building on that, this kind of gives you
Yeah,
everything to just go off and give it a go.
it is useful recording it, and it's intriguing how you said about when we're trying the method and it was working for one and not for two.
Yeah, where's that come
Which,
from?
but that does make sense, doesn't it?
It kind of, yeah.
Because, but
Yeah.
you find like if you're doing an investigation, like a medium will say, "Oh, that person's over there." You
Mm,
can find the kit is going off there to validate that,
yeah.
but then you're asking somebody at the other side of the room to be interactive when
People saying they're
potentially
there.
it's whatever it is over there. So
Yeah.
it actually really makes sense.
Yeah. Location
And
is probably a thing as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I think maybe sometimes people think because they can't see them, well, I can't see them, that means they're everywhere.
Oh,
Maybe that's not the case at all.
no, because sometimes I've kind of felt that near me, and
Mm,
like certain signs for me, like my hair stand up, and sometimes if I sort of say something and I'm right, it's like feels like around my neck, not so I've got a hairy neck, but you just kind of feel like your hairs are sort of standing up on the back of your neck when you bang on with an answer. When you sort of make a sort of conclusion of something and say something like, "Oh my god, I'm right," because
mm.
all of a sudden I get a sort of weird sensation just to like confirm it, and it's like, yeah, and that's fascinating,
Yeah,
and
because
it's just hard to describe, but well, yeah.
yeah, but if you think in that example there, so if you felt back your neck tingling and you feel like someone behind you, I mean,
Mhm.
I was in Gary's, no, Edinburgh Vaults, one of the
Oh,
Nidri seat one, and I was in my back to a wall in one of the little sub vaults, and behind me, me and my partner both heard and recorded, hello, and like it was very much behind me. So if that was behind me, could they also be in front and upstairs and somewhere? That's the bit I don't think I've ever really proven or even like seen or witnessed something which would indicate that they can be in the same place at the same
at
time.
the same time. That
Mm.
is an intriguing one. Oh, like Andy's just said, it gets the sensations on an investigation too. And that's what I like about this. Like you have a conversation and sometimes it resonates with somebody else. And yeah, I just love that. And that's what I've liked all the time I've done these, just for somebody else to go, yeah, I get that. And it's kind of validation for you as well. Like I was getting these weird feelings, wasn't I? You know, I do pick up like feelings and sensations and illnesses. And
Yes, yeah, I
I
remember.
think
Yeah,
on the heart it did say, and I had it at Newstead, and it was Katie who sort of came. She was at Matlock, and I knew I got a chest condition. So I was listening to them. Is it this, this, this? Tap. No, 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 no. And then out loud, she just said bronchitis. She didn't know why she said it.
yeah.
But then it validated that what she was doing by tapping was the right thing. And it also validated my feelings as well. And oh my God, I just love it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just fascinating. I love validation. I don't say there's like ghosts around. I don't call it paranormal. I just like to get some sort of validation that there's an agreement, really, one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other people witnessing the same sort of things.
Correct. Yeah.
What's have you ever heard of Wimmering Manor in Portsmouth at all?
I have. Yeah.
That's if everyone ever asks me where do I go if I want to see something, that's where I'll say, because the amount of people
See.
seeing
Wow.
things, and I've seen something there with someone else next to me, and then I've speaking to someone else, I said they've said the same sort of thing. You know, where would you want to go? And I'll say go to Women Manor, and they went, "Oh, I've been there. I saw this figure at the top of the stairs." I'm like,
Oh, cool.
that is what I saw. And then after then, that story kept popping up. So a good number of people have all seen exactly the same thing and never met each other and just mentioned it at all.
I love that. Yeah.
That can't be an imagination thing. You can't. Two people at the same time can't imagine the same thing, and then just random strangers all imagining exactly the same thing they'd seen.
That's right. And at the same time, first time I actually did a talk was at the, gotta get the right name, Parafest.
Oh yeah,
That's what it's called. And there's that Skegness with EAPI. And I was sort of mentioning a spirit who sort of frequented an area in Nottingham. Oh, this judge. So, you know, I was mentioning him, but before I knew the connection. And other people were going, yeah, we got that as well. And, you know, to get these people in Skegness, which is miles away from Nottingham, going, yeah, we got that. We could take everything you said. It's like, yeah, that, you know, you just love that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because then you feel a little bit validated yourself, but also this gives you another question, doesn't it? Like, okay, so I've seen that thing and you've seen that thing. Why did we on those nights? Why did we see that? What was it about me and about you that meant that we were witnessing it? What time was it? What were the weather conditions? What did you have for breakfast?
It was more like getting the names through it, not physically see it. You know,
It's
experiencing.
Must be a reason that.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, the hundreds of other people in that building didn't witness it or get
yeah,
names.
I know. This was what I kind of wondered, because I was always picking up this same spirit on the same level. So he was there. It was at the National Justice Museum. It was at the Salutation Inn, and it was at the trip to Jerusalem. And now I've done my past life. It's linked in with that. It's linked in with him, and that is why I keep getting that one through from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And it's so like, it's mind blowing. Like Andy's heard me mention this a few times, but it's absolutely insane. But that is why, like, of all the characters which will come through, that is why that one's come through. And then I was drawn to a specific. So there was a murder in Nottingham in 1963. And as long as I've ever known, I wasn't even born then. As long as I've ever known, I was fascinated with this murder.
No,
So
that's
then one
interesting.
day, this location comes up. It's in the area. I didn't have a clue where it was. But I checked the address. It's across the road from it. And I was absolutely fascinated. I think, well, why? But then it has links with my past life.
Mm.
Because in the past life, they used to go there for a reason. Because what we uncovered about that building was absolutely horrendous, which we can't even mention. You know, it was, I think, like, you go to a castle, you expect bad things. But just to go to a shop near a fruit veg market in Nottingham, you can't imagine how horrible things were what happened there. But, you know, it's just weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's an interesting point. I wonder if random things from history which resonate with you, if there's any reason behind that, if there's anything which
Yeah.
rings up. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been obsessed, not obsessed, but very intrigued by a character called Spring Hill Jack. Have you heard of him at all?
No.
There's this spate of really strange events with this Spring Hill Jack that occurred in London in the Victorian era, where
Wow.
people saw him jump over walls, breathing fire, had claws for hands. He attacked some people, and that's, I don't know. Since a kid, every time I see anything about that, I'm strangely intrigued by it. I'm saying
You
I
need
was,
to get your past life done, don't you? Just in case.
just in case. I mean, maybe I was Spring Hill Jack. Who knows?
Or with him, or around
With
at
him,
that time, or
I got clawed by him.
him. Well, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
why was he interested in that pub? How many murders happen in Nottingham? Especially
Yeah,
ones
why
which.
those?
And how come, like, I was on the murder spot 60 years to the second of, you know, when the original murder happened,
That's a strange coincidence.
you know. And yeah, because I tried to get the right time, but I'd actually sussed it out because it was something like 12:04. So I booked that day, but actually you've got to book the day before. So then when he was actually closing that place, I
Yeah.
said, what dates have you got? And the only one he had was that day. So he ended up there 2 days on the trot.
Hmm.
So then I stood on that spot, like, and wow. Yeah.
There you go.
But I had a lot
Does
of
that mean something?
investigations and we got building stuff through, but I wanted to know more about the pub. And then in the end, once it got through about the pub, it turned out all my past life was coming through and people were trancing, bringing me through my past life at one stage and somebody apologising to me about what they did to me in the past life. And which was quite upsetting, to be fair.
Yeah.
But mad. But yeah. So hopefully I'll get it all sorted out of the paramedic.
Yeah. You're going to see Paul, are you?
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, we need to solve this. It's getting on my nerves, to be fair. It's been ongoing and it's about time it's finished.
Yeah. Hope it gets
What
you
can
some
you
closure.
say? Yeah, it's you know, you're just getting all this information through, but you want the full story now. It's enough.
Yeah. When's the story end?
Yeah, that's right. Want to know my name, my date of birth, the death date, how, and everything. I know a lot. I know my first name, and I know a lot of things. I just want the final bit just to nail it, really. End it all. But yeah. But have you considered doing past life?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah.
No. Until you mentioned the fact that you had this resonating thing with one particular historical event, I'd never really kind of twigged that you could have that sort of impact on your current life, possibly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it might be worth.
Maybe.
And you're sort of questioning about London then.
Yeah.
Your chat.
Maybe, and also there's a place called Preston Manor in Brighton, which every time I go there, I feel like it's just to come home to the place.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
And when we investigate, we tend to quite often get really good communication in a kind of a they're still living there, we're still there sort of thing. It's
Oh, lovely.
definitely some connection there. Both me and my partner
Yeah.
both feel it.
Yeah. I love it. It's just fascinating. The whole sort of paranormal thing, isn't it? And
Yeah, a lot to it, a lot of
more,
rabbit holes.
gotcha. And, it does suit my mind. And you just kind of go off on a mission and you just, I can't do the science that well. You've mentioned how that works. I get that, but I'm not but my head with questions
First
and
step is the questioning. That's
yeah,
the thing, isn't it?
I have questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't question, then you'll never get the answer.
Gosh, yeah, that's right. And I just absolutely love what we do. But thanks so much for your time and Bank Holiday Monday. And
It's been a great chat. I really enjoyed it.
it's been lovely. And thanks to everyone who's listened and commented and asked questions. But look after yourselves anyway, and have a good rest of the week. And thanks so much, Andy.
No problem
Thank
at all.
you. And thanks for Friday. And
That was
please do
great.
let
Enjoyed
us
the
know
day.
any results that you get. If you get
Yeah, I've
any
got a
EVPs or anything, just
number of things are
let us
tagged,
know.
so I need to check
Oh,
those.
yeah. Yeah, that's fascinating. And just a word, if you do go on one of Andy's things and you do wear a bracelet, just be careful where you take it.
Yeah,
Ruth,
take it
me.
off before you don't want the thing recorded that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, on that note, okay, goodbye everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.